At one point, there were two institutes offering the same CFA degree in India. Yes, you might be surprised, but this happened and it continued for a fairly long period of time. This video is going to explore the journey of the CFA Institute US, its trademark battle with an institute in India, what it did to make the CFA curriculum popular in the student community as well as amongst the financial sector employers. Stay tuned to learn more on the same. The origins of the CFA designation go back to the 1960s. This was when the US Analyst Societies were created and the Chartered Financial Analyst program was first formed. Over the decades, the organization evolved. It was called the Association of Investment Management and Research, AIMR. The same organization later on got renamed as the CFA Institute in the year 2004. This started as a non-profit registered in Virginia, United States. On the other hand, there was something interesting happening in India too. In the year 1984, three finance professors very renowned in their field, Mr. N.J. Yashasvi, Mr. Basant C. Raj and Dr. Prasanna Chandra came together and decided that India needed a very strong curriculum in investment analysis and equity research. They established the Institute of Chartered Financial Analysts of India, ICFAI, headquartered in Hyderabad. In the year 1985, they rolled out their first batch of the CFA program. This was a complete 2-year curriculum which had to be done after your graduation. This curriculum was supposed to be extremely rigorous and totally focused on investment management, equity research and financial analysis perspective. Very different from the MBA Finance program offered back then in many premier institutes. In fact, one of the students I spoke to told me that this was one of the toughest curriculums that one had to go through. By the year 1985 to 1995, there were more than 10,000 students who had entered the CFA program, but barely 897 passed it with complete requirements. That is, they were the ones who cleared all the papers of the CFA curriculum ICFAI. So this was as good as saying that you entered an MBA and you couldn't clear it. But this was much more than any conventional MBA back then. The passing percentages were very low single digits, comparable to the Chartered Accountancy course in India. Then the legal battle began. October 1997, the CFA Institute United States filed a case for trademark infringement against the ICFAI Institute of India. This led to a very long drawn battle for trademark, and it was only until 2006 when the Delhi High Court passed an injunction order stating that ICFAI cannot continue to use the CFA name. So they had to withhold the CFA name, albeit they can continue the program. Being extremely disappointed on account of this, the ICFAI took a smart legal route and made a very interesting move. They approached the Gauhati High Court and filed a suit against CFA Institute Program US that they are not registered with AICTE or they are neither registered with any other body like UGC. So on what basis are they conducting CFA program in India? This led to a new debate, and in 2006 the Gauhati High Court, after listening to all parties, said that AICTE registration is mandatory for CFA Institute US if they intend to conduct the CFA exam in India, and hence AICTE was ordered to ask them to register. The US Institute kept on claiming that they are a professional organization, they offer a professional course, hence they are not liable to registration. But the High Court did not budge. After tasting a fair bit of success at the Gauhati High Court, ICFAI found it confident and they continued offering their course, albeit without the CFA name. The CFA Institute US also was conducting the course with the CFA name, but they were conducting exams out of India. That means anyone who's studying CFA curriculum in India, which is a self-paced study, had to go to Dubai, Singapore or any nearby locations to give their exam. Now this made the cost of the CFA program extremely high. Considering that it's a self-paced program, just having to incur a cost for ticket to Dubai, a ticket to Singapore made it unattractive, and there was a growing pressure from the student community or the CFA aspirants that CFA Institute should take some serious steps to address this issue. Obviously, when the students of other countries give exam in their own nations, why should Indians fly out? This is where the CFA Institute started aggressively pursuing the matter, and they started putting chips on the table. By 2012, ICFAI and CFA Institute came to an out-of-court settlement, and it was decided that CFA Institute US will be the sole holder of the trademark Chartered Financial Analyst. ICFAI India will cease to use the CFA name in any of its programs. The year 2013 is when they officially discontinued the CFA program also. They, however, continue to offer many courses in finance. It is still famous. They have established many business schools. IBS is their brand, and IBS Hyderabad is a famous name in this space. It offers a lot of corporate trainings today. But CFA stands discontinued by ICFAI. Now, post this success, CFA Institute went very big on making their program popular. They indulge in extremely high amount of PR publicity campaigns, as well as they approached a lot of employers to make CFA popular, ensuring that their candidates get jobs in very prime locations. This was also the decade and the aftermath of GFC, when many MNCs and investment banks were recouping and they were looking to set up shop in India. So Nomura, UBS, Standard Chartered Bank, they all started their investment banking equity research divisions in India, and they were looking for talented candidates in the financial modeling and financial analysis space. CFA candidates were a perfect fit, and these MNCs anyways regarded the CFA curriculum in a very high manner. So this was a perfect icing on the cake on top of recently won victory in the out-of-court settlement for the CFA Institute. The CFA saga is a great example of grit and perseverance. It shows how battles are fought inside and outside courtrooms. Getting to attain out-of-court settlement after 15 years since its first filed its case, the CFA Institute proves a lot about itself. This also speaks something about the financial education market in India. Firstly, while it is good to make a curriculum that is intensive, comprehensive, like the ICAI did, but if you keep the passing percentage is extremely low, eventually students will lose interest. After all, even chartered accountancy has got a low passing rate, but is there any proof to say that a CFA or a CPA or an FRM guy does not start with a good package like a chartered accountant does? A student puts in a lot of hours of effort and money towards clearing a particular subject or particular course. If the passing rates are very low, it's unlikely to attract a widespread interest from the student community. Hence, it is important to keep the passing rates decent. CFA has a passing rate in the mid-30s to mid-40s for all the three of its levels, which makes it fairly interesting and many students interested. Last year, more than 1.5 lakh candidates appeared across various levels of CFA globally, and more than 35,000 Indians appeared across various levels. We also need to bear in mind from the Indian financial market that there is no single unique course in finance, and most Indian employers think that no matter what you know, you are going to get trained on the job. They just want you to know enough that you are worth training. That is why there is no point having a curriculum which is intensive, and it is also not worth having a curriculum which will require you a full-time classroom training. Chartered accountancy doesn't need full-time classroom training. CPA does not need full-time classroom training. So unless you are in a premier institute like IIM or ISB, where it is worth it to put full 2 years of effort, sacrificing your job and money you could have earned, it genuinely does not make a case for a full-time course in India, at least in finance. While all this is true, nothing can be taken away from the CFA Institute of India. They emphasized on local ecosystem. They kept creating CFA societies, campus outreaches, events, multiple partnerships. They also increased accessibility eventually. Today there are more than 6 CFA exam testing centers in India. And of course there was an ultimate evidence in value. They published the impact of studies that highlighted careers and comprehensive gains for various charter holders. As much as we appreciate the institute for its grit in the courtroom, we have to appreciate its perseverance in the main street. It did everything it could, right from PR, global branding, employer recognition, building a local ecosystem, enhancing accessibility, focused on improving the curriculum, and establishing a clear evidence of value in front of its students as well as employers to ensure that they get the best of both worlds. This is something which the CFA Institute has to be attributed to, and that is why it could manage to get the success which many other courses like say a PRM, a CAIA or even a CPA in India has not made it. Given today's day and age when you find a lot of people starting training institutes in equity research and other streams, this is a good playbook to follow. Always focus on quality and try to get industry tie-ups. Otherwise, you would just be another course. And don't be so focused on making your curriculum the toughest. Ensure it is making your students worthy of training. If you are considering a CFA from India or thinking about your career goal as an investment analyst or in corporate finance, check out the same in the CFA Institute. For more, I would draw a short set of resources in the description section. You can go through it. If you found this video interesting and are looking forward to know more about the CFA Institute, please visit the website. I've shared the links below. I'll be also sharing a set of resources which could be of interest to you. I've taken a fair amount of effort to make a video like this, and I'll be making many more in future. I would appreciate if you all can hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon. This will help you know more about the content I keep posting in future. Thank you very much for your attention.